welcome back to the Sunday School class. Today we will be again visiting Genesis, first chapter, and we'll be talking about going down to the 29th verse, one of my favorite verses in the whole Bible, being that I am someone who absolutely loves to talk about health and food. So, Genesis, first chapter, we talked about how God created the earth, starting with let there be light. And after he said, let there be light, then he got to work in creating this vision that I believe he had. And he created it from the center or from the parts that needed to be created first. He created in order. Because notice that if you look at Genesis first chapter, then you notice that he said, let there be, heaven and earth. He created those, and earth was void and just empty and basically water. Then he started creating masses on the earth, land. Then he started putting things on the land, and he put them in an order that made sense. Like he put on the land, the green trees and all those things, and then he added in things that would use the food from the green trees to nourish themselves. Um, and trees that the birds landed in. So he was very methodical in how he created the earth. He really thought through it, which is the way we should be when we create things, kind of thinking through what needs to be first, second, third. I want to get down to a part that I think is most incredible and most important. As you see, the title was what happened in Genesis 1, what God created in Genesis 1, and how he instructed us could really save our lives. And I want to talk a little bit about what it is. So Genesis 1:29, I'm going to go into that one here. And if you have your Bible or whatever, you can follow along. So let's go back up to 27. So God created man. God created man in his own image, in the image of God and likeness of God. He created him, male and female. He created them. And God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subjugate it. In other words, put it under your power and rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and every living thing that is upon the earth. And so God said in 29, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of the entire earth, that is on the surface of the entire earth. And every tree which has fruit yielding seed, it shall be food to you. Put a pin right there. I'm going to show you, of course, you probably already know. What is this? It is, a cherry. I like cherries. Cherries are good. Nice and sweet. And this, what is that? Oh, if you guessed it. Yeah, it's a mango. And this one is, yes, a lemon. So one thing that all of those have in common there's a couple of things they have in common, is they meet the litmus test for what God asked us to do. One, um, it came from a tree. They have a seed. It has a fruit from a tree that has a seed. And so therefore, and it was on the surface of the earth. So every one of these came from a tree. Everyone has a seed, and every one of these are on the surface of the earth. And why is that so important for us? Because these come up out of the earth, which is what God created us from. And coming out of the earth, they're filled with all of the nutrients and vitamins and things that are micronutrients that we are made of because we came out of the earth. So these have all the things that our cells need to maintain us as we move through our assignment here on earth. Everything that's needed is in some of these fruits. Like, for instance, this has tons of vitamin C in it, right? It's a lemon. It has tons of vitamin C. Vitamin C is good for our keeping our white blood cell counts high. It is good for making sure that we have a good immune system. So, and that immune system fights off all kinds of things that our bodies are going to run into as we live here on earth. God already knew that in advance. So he said, "Hey, I got it for you. Not only am I going to make your food taste good, but this food is going to be medicine and it is going to be amazing for you." So, all of these foods, different tastes, different flavors, different textures, are all food for us. And that is the initial food. Now, you say, wait, I ate chicken and hamburger and steak and fish. Yes, we can eat those, but they are not going to be as densely nutritious as these fruit. Number one reason why is because meats don't have fiber in them. So how it happens is most of those foods that we're eating that are meat, that are not plant based, the animals ate these things, but we're getting the byproducts of it from the animal's waste or from the animal's carcass after we unfortunately unalive it and we fry it up or do whatever we do with it. So all the processing that we have to do to that animal to make it edible, we are also killing all of those nutrients that are inside the fruit that it ate or the grass that it ate that can help make us healthy and keep us healthy. So that is one of the reasons why a diet that's rich in fruits and vegetables, primarily fruits, is so much better for you than eating the byproducts of the animals that also eat the fruit. Because think about it, cows, which we get our hamburgers from, our steaks from, they are vegetarian. They eat grass and they eat the things off the ground. Um, Even some of our larger animals with muscles, they eat, they don't eat other animals. They eat fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. So if we want to be strong and healthy, we too can stick with the diet that God gave us in Genesis 1:29, eating from the fruit. Not only did he tell us as humans to eat from the ground, he also told the animals that they had that as well. So we see it here in verse 30. And to all the animals on the earth, and to every bird of the air, and everything that moves on the ground, to everything to it in which there is the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. I've given every green plant for food. And so it was so. And God blessed everyone and gave them all the food. And that's the last thing that he made sure that we understood. Here you are, and here is all the things that you need to take care of you. Now I want you to take care of this beautiful planet that I've created for you. So, Genesis chapter 1 is an amazing chapter that gets everything kicked off just right until we get a little further into Genesis, and then we see where things go left really fast. So, what kind of questions, what kind of fruits and vegetables do you like? Are you eating? I encourage you to eat as many as possible in a day, have at least 2 or 3 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And I encourage you to continue reading Genesis to learn how God planned for you to have the best life ever and to enjoy that life. So, read chapter 1 next week. We'll dive into chapter 2 and find out what's up with man in chapter 2. I hope to see you. I think we'll change the time a little earlier. So, look forward to seeing you again next week. If you have questions, please leave them in the chat. Also, like I said, tell me where you're chatting from, and also tell me what kind of fruits do you eat in your part of the world. And we'll see you next week. God's willing, the creek doesn't rise. Bye.